What's up, guys? It's Rob with Black Hill Woodwork, and in today's video we're going to be turning some Fruit Loops. Today's video is definitely going to be one of the more wild experimental videos, I guess. I saw on Instagram a video of somebody turning a resin bowl with Cheerios in it. And obviously it made as a very good cereal bowl. My girlfriend, she loves cereal. I showed her that video and she's been begging me to make one. So I'm going to be using Fruit Loops. She doesn't eat Fruit Loops, but you know, the colors in the Fruit Loops I think are going to make for a pretty cool looking resin bowl. This is the mold we're going to be using. It's not too big. It's one of those measuring buckets, I guess, that you get from Home Depot. I just cut it in half. So the plan is, I already cut this to size, kinda. I'm gonna hot glue that down so that I could make a tenon out of wood instead of straight resin later. Plus, you know, it actually might look pretty nice with some wood at the bottom of the bowl. So I'm gonna hot glue that down, mix up some resin, and I'm gonna fill this whole thing up with Fruit Loops. I'm not sure how it's gonna work because, you know, I think the Fruit Loops are gonna float. But I have a feeling if I add enough, and when I mean enough, I mean a lot of Fruit Loops. I mean, if I add so much Fruit Loops, they're gonna have to stay at the bottom too, right? So even though some will float, it should be okay. So that's what the plan is. Let's hot glue this, and then go on to the next step. Alright, now it's time to mix some resin. As always, this is the stuff I use. Never had an issue with it. I do use a pressure pot though, so if you use it without a pressure pot, I'm not sure exactly how, you know, it might come out with some cracks or something, I don't know. .24 ounces part A, 24 ounces part B. So usually when I mix resin up, I use this drill insert just because it mixes it, you know, way faster, and it just mixes it better, to be honest. But because this project, it's going to be clear resin, I'm going to hand stir it just because using that drill, if you use it too fast, a lot of bubbles accumulate, and the last thing we want is our bowl just being filled with bubbles. So we finished mixing up all the resin, but I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue along the edges and add some Cheerios just to make sure that if they do float, at least I will have, you know, a little bit of Cheerios down here in the corner and on the sides. All right, let's pour up. We're finally done pouring all that resin in here. That took a super long time. I think it's filled up all the way, or at least as much as I possibly can fill it up. So I'll put it in the pressure pot, wait 24 hours, and then we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. All right, guys, it's the next day. I just let out all the air from the pressure pot. I haven't even taken off the lid. Pretty excited. Let's see what we got. Okay, that does not look promising at all. Oh my God. Okay, for some reason I had a feeling this would happen. I mean, I poured so much resin in here, I feel like. But you can already see that the level dropped off a lot. I wonder why. Did the Fruit Loops absorb the resin that much, or I don't know. Oh, wow. Okay. This is it. I don't really know what to think, to be honest with you. See, I knew that they would float. That's why I wanted to hot glue some of them down here. So there's a little area right here. That's not the biggest issue. Maybe I should talk about the biggest issue. Look at how much this thing dropped. A full inch. I don't know what's going on over here. It looks like the hot glue that I used affected this resin over here somehow. A little indent right there. Okay, it's fine. First time doing this kind of bowl, so I expected something to happen. So we'll go to the garage, hook this up somehow between centers for sure. Gonna have to get rid of this whole layer of Fruit Loops. Probably won't be that hard. Probably just use a chisel or something until I get to the resin. Once I flatten that out, I'll probably just glue a piece of wood with some CA glue to the top and use that to apply pressure between the centers instead of just to the resin. But yep, here it is. I know it might not be exactly what any of us were hoping, but let's see if we can make something out of it. Something cool. Let me go find where the center is. Then we'll find a piece of wood and CA glue it there. Okay, it's all cured up. Find the center again. I'm gonna have my face mask on, so probably not too much talking. If you do hear me talk, it'll be through the face mask. I mean, this bowl should be pretty simple. I don't know exactly what design I'm looking for. I'm either gonna go for, you know, the traditional curved bowl, or, you know, I kind of like the shape that it's in now with like the straight edges, so I might do that as well. Okay, let's start turning.
I wish there was a little bit more Fruit Loops on the side here, but you know, I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's not completely straight, so I'll do that. But I don't really have to cut too much more. Of course, I have to hit the bottom though. Well, we're hitting wood. I'm going to do a little curve so you can see the wood up top as well. I started shaping the tenon. I'm going to get my bowl gouge out for this. right, guys, I mean, that's it for the outside. Looks pretty good. I don't really have too much to say. Let's flip it around and hollow it out.
Okay, let's do this thing. Let's turn up the speed a little bit. $1,200 RPMs.
Man, that inside looks crazy. Gonna have to get rid of the center sometime soon. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. You know, I wish the amount of Cheerios that are right here in the middle were on the sides. I knew that was going to happen, but there's really nothing we can do about it now.
Finally just took my dust mask off so I could actually breathe and talk. All right, let's look at this thing. Not much to say. I wish there was more of the Fruit Loops on the side. I think I said that probably 10 times already. Hopefully nobody's keeping count. But it looks good. We can't really judge it right now. We got to sand and put the Yorkshire grit on, and then we'll take a look at it. All right. This is what it looks like after the Yorkshire grit. Tell you what, definitely made the resin a lot more clear. So here's what it's looking like from this angle. I mean, you can clearly see the Fruit Loops. Looks pretty good. Now we just need to put the car polish on it. We're gonna clean it off with some denatured alcohol, and then apply our first coat of Waterlux gloss. Yes, I'm using my hand. Okay. Not much of a difference that you could really see from the camera, at least. The car polish is mainly just used to get out those like really minor, very small scratches in the resin. And I don't see any scratches, so it must have done its job. Some denatured alcohol. All right, first coat. A lot of people apply this with the lathe, you know, on turning. But the lowest speed I have is 400 RPMs, and that is way too fast. All right, that's the first coat done. See you guys tomorrow for the second coat. I just recently started using Waterlux. I used to use General Finishes salad bowl finish or wood bowl finish, one of the two. I did love that finish. Actually, the only reason why I stopped using it was because it went bad. I had it in a stop loss bag, but I never took the air out of the bag, and it all just turned into jello. So I was looking up some new finishes. I just wanted to experiment. And I heard that Waterlux is one of the best out there. It's definitely also one of the most expensive, but I've been using it for the past couple of weeks, and I'll tell you, it is a good finish for sure. Especially if you want that gloss. Get the high gloss Waterlux, and it does the job. So there it is. After the second coat, I may put on a third one, but honestly, I don't think I will. Next steps, once this cures, I'll take it off, sand the bottom, and then just repeat the steps for the bottom. Sand that up, Yorkshire grit, and then 2 coats of Waterlux. So if you stayed till the end of the video, appreciate it. As always, thank you so much for all your guys' support. Stay tuned for future videos and hit that like and subscribe button. Peace.